Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Again, my name is Manuel. I am here to bring you truth, knowledge, and wisdom. And I'd like to speak to you guys regarding future events and predictions that is due to happen and what you can do to better prepare yourself. So that way, nothing is to catch you off guard. Like most people are panicking, so it's best for you not to panic. So whenever you are prepared, the less you panic. So let's begin this video. And I know most of you probably aware that that we're in a recession right now, and the recession is going to be a depression that dwarfs the 1929 Great Depression. Like if you can watch documentaries and pay attention to what happened during the 1929 Great Depression. This is going to be a global depression. Like every country is going to experience it. And this will happen because of the death of the US dollar. The US dollar will lose pretty much all of its value. I would say about 70% of its value, go close to that. And because of that, there will be a hyperinflation. So price of goods will cost a lot more to acquire. And for example, if you were to purchase a bag of rice today, let's say a 20-pound bag of rice or 10-pound bag of rice for about $50. Now that 20 pounds bag of rice that used to cost you $50 will cost you close to $500, because now we are witnessing that the U.S. is using helicopter money. They're printing money and then they are giving it to the people. And when you keep printing money like that into the economy, then you run into hyperinflation because there's so little goods to go around, and there's too much dollars in the economy. So you will have to you have now you have a supply and demand. You have less supply and more demand for it, and then the price of goods will skyrocket, and you will need a lot of the U.S. dollar to buy whatever you need. And this is happening. It's going to be a global monetary reset, and it's going to affect every other world currency. So what I do advise you guys is to invest and turn your whatever currency you're holding now, uh, just buy some silver with it. Even if I wouldn't recommend using all of your money to buy silver or gold. I would say about 50% of what you have, I would say turn it into gold or silver, and put about 10% into cryptocurrency to protect your wealth. Because once this happens, and once the US dollar loses its value, a lot of people are going to lose their wealth. A lot of people, millionaires will become homeless, billionaires will lose all of their wealth, and businesses will collapse. Small business are not coming back because they've already taken too much loss in the stock market. In the stock market, did I would say that it have crashed. It have not fully crashed yet. There's gonna be uh, another great descent, and when that does happen, uh, that's when they will announce the death of the U.S. dollar, that it has lost its value. And it's gonna be another Great Depression, like I said before, and food will be scarce, which will lead to high crime rates and mass death due to suicide and starvations. Like the coronavirus that's going on, will will cannot be compared to what's coming, because what's co- uh, what's coming will make the coronavirus be like a walk in the park. I mean, I don't mean to sound dramatic, but I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm just here to tell you the truth, whether you accept it or not. That is up to you, and you have to do your due diligence and do your homework and research. and I'm just here to present you with the information. And there will be loss of jobs, as you've already noticed. There are close to 20 million jobs I've already lost. That number will increase. Close to 50% of Americans will lose their jobs in other countries as well, because all this is happening on a global scale. There will be mass homelessness. You will start seeing people buying tents. There will be cities with tents with people living in them because they will lose their homes. Families will lose wealth, homes, everything. They will lose everything, and once they lose everything, then they start to starve because they can't afford the high price of goods. That's where the starvation comes from. There's going to be a large number of people that dies of starvation, more than the coronavirus has taken. So we must be proactive. Uh, the government is reactive, so they are not concerned with what's going to happen. All they care about is what's in front of them. So they see what's in front of them and they react to it, but they are not proactive. So that's why you must take responsibility and be proactive and prepare yourself. I would recommend invest in seeds and to begin planting your own garden, and also to prepare yourself mentally for what you're about to witness. This is a great time to be living. You are going to witness history, and you must buy your own property or your own homes, because a lot of people are going to lose their homes and they will be homeless. So to prepare yourself is to invest what you have. Buy a home, even if if something small. I'm pretty sure you can buy a house for $10,000 from tax deed auctions, which is what I usually look for. And I am getting into real estate as well, and get like a buy low, and you can keep those properties. And when the value does go up, then you can sell. And there will also be a market crash and a housing crash. The housing will correct itself because prices are way too high. So the housing market will also collapse, and homes will drop to at least 50%. So if the homes usually costs, let's say, $500,000, now that home will be worth about $250,000, probably even less. And why is this happening? Well, life is a game. I have made a video about that. It's called The Meaning of Life. Life is a video game. It is being reset. This is what happens when uh, you reset something. It begins anew. Things are changing. Things may seem chaotic right now, but that is supposed to happen to bring something new. So we are leaving the dark ages, the silver ages, and entering a golden age of prosperity and spirituality. A lot of people are going to be awakened from what's going to happen, and they will begin to start seeing what's true, and how they've been lied to on a global scale. And the masses who dies are mostly will be non NPCs, non-player characters. They are artificial intelligence, artificial beings, and there will the most of the suicide will probably be the real NPCs, because most of them will not be able to cope with what's going to happen, because they will be stuck on a low frequency. And the losers of the game who perish, which are the real source players or the real player characters, they will return to the real world outside of this matrix, because I'm sorry, I misspelled matrix. It should be Matrix. And they will wake up. This is a dream state. We are living in a dream state. Once we let's say if you were to die right now, you would wake up in the real world where your physical body is, similar to how if you die in a dream right now, you would let's say if you went to sleep and you end up having a dream and you die in a dream, you wake up. This is the same thing here, as above so below. So the only way to return to the real world is to die. And I would say 10, 15 years later down the line, you will start to witness. It might be later because I'm usually off with by a few years on these predictions, but they do end up come true. I've made an earlier video of predictions since the December of 2016 of the economic collapse that's happening now. And I may be off by a few years, but it will happen. Some people will start to disappear from your reality. They will start to disappear before your eyes. And that is because they are uh, leaving the dimension that you are in to enter a dimension that their frequency match with. They will resonate on a certain frequency. So let's say if you have two people, let's say you and your friend, you both of you are vibrating on two different frequencies. Let's say one of you is negative, one of you is positive as a person, as a being. So whenever these things occur, the negative person that's always engaged in drama and crimes and anything negative, they will disappear in they will enter a dimension that is a low frequency dimension. And this is, I'm going to explain this on the next slide. This is what true heaven and hell is. True heaven and hell is will be experienced in the flesh, because it doesn't make sense to like the Bible say. Most of the Bible, there's truth in it, but you need wisdom to understand it. So you will experience this on the in the physical body, because how can you experience um, uh, let's say, for example, people say you will burn in hell after you die. So how can you burn in hell if you don't have any senses? After you die, you are just energy. You just pure energy. You are just a soul, or as the people say, you are a ghost. Ghost doesn't have any sensations. The only way you can have sensations is in the physical body. So it doesn't make sense if the people that say you're going to burn in hell. It just doesn't make sense. You can only experience hell or heaven in the physical body, in the physical flesh. So this is what's going to happen. If you are vibrating on a high frequency, you will experience heaven on uh, heaven while this is all going on. I'll probably, based on the recommendations and demands um, for future videos, if you guys do recommend on, I make a video on how to what's going to happen, what you will experience in hell or in heaven when this all happens. Uh, do send me some recommendations. I'll make another video. And the low frequency players or non-PCs, who are mostly a burden on society, they will disappear and they will be matched to their corresponding dimensions. And those who are on high frequency, like I said, which are positive people, spiritual people, they will be matched to a utopian dimensions, which is also called 5D, where all great things will happen to them. Only good things will happen to them. Their thoughts will have a boost. So right now, if your thoughts create your reality, so there is a delay. So whenever this occurs, whenever we reach this utopian world, you will get a boost of your thoughts will get boosted. So whenever you think of something, you have a desire, it will manifest almost instantaneously, because there will be no longer a great delay. And there will be a civil unrest, a civil war, so you have to prepare yourself for this. And the reason there will be a civil war is because the people will, the masses will wake up and they will realize they've been lied to, and then they will be shedding their angers at the authoritarians known as the governments. They will that will lead to a martial law, because the that is the only way they can cope with large protests. And then a large of the police forces will be patrolling the street. and the banks will take all of your money during this time. And this is why I recommend to get all of your money out of the bank now while you can, because once the stock market crash, uh, the bank will say they've lost everything, and then your money will be lost. There will no longer be any pensions. There will no longer be any retirement funds. All the people that's receiving retirement funds, that will stop. There will be no future retirements. And that's when the massive people will get angry and go to the street and protest, which result in a civil war. And there will be a possible World War III to bring us out of this Great Depression that is coming. Because if you look back in history, history tends to repeat itself. The only way the world was brought back from the Great Depression in 1929 was the World War. That is how they created new jobs. And this is going to be after all this is over and done. There will be a mass awakening. There will be a collective consciousness shift, because right now everybody is living in negativity. Everybody is living a lie. So once a large number of people begin to become awakened, their consciousness will affect the other people around them, and then everyone will share a collective consciousness. So this is they've done a study of the, I guess it's called the nine monkey effect, something to that similar effect. There was a group of monkeys they placed together, one on one island and one 200 miles, I believe, on another island, and they began to condition these monkeys a certain way. You can YouTube it. I'm not gonna go into depth about it. You can YouTube the monkey effect, where their consciousness affected the consciousness of the other monkeys on the other island, even though they were nowhere near those monkeys, because we are all one. There is no separation. Separation is just an illusion that's been created by the media, by your government, by society. Everything is one and everything is connected. This will bring a spiritual enlightenment to everyone. Everyone will become enlightenment, and we will seek to call and to live in a world. We'll call for peace. We will call for love and peace, because everybody will be tired of war. They will be tired of fighting. They will be tired of being lied to. They will be emotionally and physically tired. So that's why they will go out in the street and protest in every country. And this is why you will get a mass awakening. And when the dust does settle, you will either be living in a hell or dystopian future or dimension, or you will be experiencing a utopian dimensions. So that is why I was planning on making a video on how to raise your frequency, because this is an important time right now to raise your frequency. Because if you are trapped on the lower frequencies, you will only experience the negativities that's happening around you. You will not be able to shift. Your body will not be vibrating at a high frequency enough to shift into the other dimensions, which is the utopian dimensions. So you will be stuck on the lower frequencies, experiencing hell, which is all chaotic, all destruction that's going to happen, all the killing, all the mass death. You will witness all this. This is what true hell is. But you're not going to hear that from anywhere else, because there's so much misinformation out there. Even the Bible tells you this, but it tells you after you die you will experience hell. But you can only experience hell or heaven in the physical flesh, with your sensations and your senses. So low frequency players will experience pain, hardship, and poverty, and high frequency players will experience joy, happiness, wealth, and prosperity. So guys, my message to you is to raise your frequency. Live with peace, kind, and compassion. This is one of the key ways to raise your frequency. Don't engage in violence, crimes. Treat every being with respect. Treat every beings uh, like you would be treated. There's no other way to put it. Live with joy, kind, and always show compassion, and always show love. And love is not that kind of love, that conventional love. Love is condition is unconditional. Even if someone is doing wrong to you, still show understanding toward them. And I'd like to give you guys a sneak peek. Well, uh, my book will be coming out soon. It's finally being completed. I've completed the book. Now I'm completing editing it, and then I will send it out to an editor, and then uh, have it published. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. So this will be the end of the video. Until next time, guys. Bye. Like I said, I do not edit. I don't like to edit my videos, so you will witness everything. Everything is done on one take, and you will see. I'm just straightforward, and I like to keep it that way.